I came here in October 2004. I inherited a plant that was 30 years old, had been profitable and had been well regarded for many of those years. It had built a lot of products and had a lot of skills, particularly in the technical and engineering areas. On the other hand, it had developed a reputation for negative employee relations and a resistance to change. It had been passed by many other factories who had embraced modern thinking. The industrial relations climate was poor, was staggering from crisis to crisis, and it was clear that a radical overhaul was needed, and that no new investments would take place unless those issues were tackled. But just simply to apply some techniques in itself would not work. We needed a top-down, root and branch overhaul. It was clear to me that we had a burning platform. Change needed to happen fast. I had a leadership team that just wasn't engaged with the real issues, so I began to move some of them out at both senior and middle management levels.
We had a traditional type, hierarchical type management system here with the managers and their staff working upstairs in their offices, far removed from the production floor. The first change that we made when Liam came on board was we came downstairs with our staff at the point where production could use our services as they needed. There was no longer any individual silos, and we worked together as one effective team supporting production.
The communications process was one way, very much top down. Since the programme of change, the structure is very much team-based, and the communications is multi-layered, right from all levels of the organisation, so that people, employees, have the information that they need to know about the business, where the direction the business is going, and that also involves us listening to the employees as to what their concerns and issues are. We brought in external facilitators to facilitate work groups where employees were asked 4 questions as to what was working well for the plant, what we needed to change, what the barriers were to those changes, and what we needed to keep up what we were doing well. So as a result of that, lots of issues came up, and those issues were then fed back through and communicated throughout the plant in a working booklet. And then emanating from that were 6 teams that we set up, which drove the whole programme for change. Communications, fair and equitable treatment, total productive maintenance, total quality management, logistics and supply chain, and training and development.
What we were actually doing was changing everything about the way we produced. Our processes, we challenged how we manufactured, we challenged our processes, we challenged absolutely everything. The lean room was used as a workroom for all the information that we needed to gather. And as we did that, we invited the people on the shop floor to come up and see what we were doing, because the importance of communicating right down to the shop floor was imperative, and was one of the reasons it succeeded here in Carlow. In parallel to what we were doing in the room, we also implemented vendor development programs. We developed our suppliers, we introduced Kanbans. We also ran autonomous maintenance programs down the floor in parallel. The people on the team were people from the floor, engineers, planners, supervisors, anybody that could help in the process. There was 6 teams working in parallel. That's why the rapid improvement took a 2-year period. Once we'd identified waste in the process, we used tools like Kanban redesign to deal with the material. We used process mapping to deal with the layout of the production lines and with the people.
You could have, say, 20 pallets of one type, which you mightn't use over 6 weeks, which is taking up money. With the Kanban system, you have fewer pallets, it's taking up less space, but you'll never run out of them.
We all had an input together, so it was a lot easier than, to work together. We all knew the responsibilities that we had and how we were going to achieve that. Any fears that they might have is, are eliminated through the team process. So people are more confident, they're more willing to take on more responsibilities and change.
We have done our tool changes 50% quicker than we were doing it 3 years ago, and we've encouraged everybody to do this Kaizen and to bring down our rapid change over time, and we're still bringing them down.
Training and development has been central to the programme for change. Through the training and development, we've upskilled the employees. so that they can bring so much more of themselves to their work. They can contribute a lot more than they have in the past, and everybody wins.
Raw materials come straight into the factory floor, into a Kanban, to where they're needed. Raw materials are taken from the Kanban, we process them into parts. Those go into a parts whip Kanban. Those parts whip Kanbans exist between every process. That Kanban area of necessity is located directly near the machine that is going to be used on. The operator at any point knows exactly how much material they've got available to them. They take it from the Kanban, they put it directly into the machine. So as far as the operator is concerned, they can dedicate all of their attention to their job, which is looking after the machine. So that in itself has empowered and encouraged everybody on the line to look at their own jobs, look at where their areas of loss are, rather than looking constantly for material, so nobody waits. At any stage, if I or an engineer or somebody from the senior management group want to come down onto the line and have a look, they can see at a glance how things are going. For people on the line, they know exactly where components need to be. They can see at a glance whether something is in position or out of position. It makes for a safer workplace, and it makes for material available when they want it, where they want it.
I worked extensively as an internal consultant, providing advice and input to a whole variety of factories across the Gillette network on things such as value stream mapping and lean tools. What I've seen here in Carlow is value stream mapping highlighting extensively loss and waste within the supply chain, from raw material supply to finished goods supply. I have never seen another example in the network where value stream mapping has been used so effectively with so much success.
I would say the real key in a successful radical change program is to identify the people who are going to drive it for you, and to identify those very quickly who are not, and deal with that and move them out of the organisation as quickly as possible. The early months are critical. You have to create a climate of urgency and even some chaos. Set clear goals and objectives with no opt-out clause. This is what we're going to do. Nothing will stop us. We'll have fun doing it. And it's amazing how quickly the people who are going to drive it emerge.
This programme for change has really delivered benefit to the business, delivered benefit to the bottom line, and delivered benefit to shareholders. And certainly the speed and the extent of those benefits have far exceeded my expectations. Support headcount has reduced substantially, planning personnel reduced by 57%, procurement by 67%, and shift leadership 33%. Raw materials and work in progress inventory has reduced by 50%, and that inventory turns have increased from 11 to 19 and are currently running at 20. Work in process transactions and intermediate production confirmation have been eliminated through automatic backflushing, and this has really driven further costs out of our structure. This is all translated into cost savings achieved of $12 million, greater than 16% of our total manufacturing cost.
The programme of change has delivered outstanding results for the site. That being said, we realise we're on a journey and we have a lot of work still to do. The PBAT survey, as part of the IWS toolkit, will help drive us in our quest for an ever leaner organisation.
The results have been outstanding. The workforce is enthusiastic and turned on and is now welcoming change. We have space available. We have multiple technology platforms ranging from gas farm, ethanol farm, medical device product. There isn't any product out there that I don't believe that we could not make in Carlow. Carlow was well placed to service its primary markets, which are in Europe. We can get to pretty much anywhere there within 1 to 3-4 days.